back for another episode. And you know what? He's won a spot on the show. He's becoming a little bit more regular. Petros has decided to take a job where he's 1 week on, 1 week off. So you know what? As a fill-in, well, no, as a new co-host on those off weeks, here's Stamati. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me again, Valandi. And
it's not so much thanks for having me back. It's more like you were putting those subtle little, what's it called? Like, you were dropping
here and there, last week.
Yeah, you were dropping the pin here and there, just going, dropping putting a bit of salt into it.
Well, like, if he keeps eating the way he's eating and not drinking water, you might not have any choice.
I think you need to start looking for a new co-host. Yeah. That was mentioned by quite a many people that have listened to last week's episode. But he's back. He's here. And you know what? Tonight we're going to have a fun, open podcast.
Yep.
We're just going to talk random shit. And here is the first random thing that I can talk about. On the way here, I was thinking, shit, what are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? And as I'm driving down Brooker Terrace near my house to get onto Richmond Road, there's this really nice leather, orange, one-person recliner couch type thing out on someone's curb.
Yep.
Random, right? And I'm thinking, I've watched a lot of American films, like, for example, Friday with Ice Cube,
Yep.
And a lot of those ghetto American films where they just have their couches out the front on the porch. And, yo, brother, come here. So you got all those random shit. And I'm thinking, how fucking cool would that be if we were just to, do it? But I don't think our neighborhoods are more are ghetto enough.
Oh, nah, I don't think so.
Would that work like up north or down south?
Maybe. Like, like you watch the movies and they just, like even like the old bloke would have the rocking chair or they'd, like you said, they'd have that random couch in the front porch and then all their mates just walk past and all that sort of stuff. But
I want to find a place here in Adelaide where I can drive by and there's like one of those random swinging chairs on the front porch, like the ones they got in Back to the Future.
Yeah, so I was at my Yaz last night, and she's had that one like the it just swings like it's like a triple sort of light couch sort of thing in the backyard. And I was looking, I'm like, like she's probably had it for over 20 years. I'm like, look, listen, the young kids are around, it's not really stable. Like you need to sort of update it. I go, look, the family was there last night. I go, look, let's just put out on the side of the road, and it will force you to get a new one. No, look, I'll do it next time. I know there's like, where the council comes and does their rubbish run or whatever, you put the stuff on the side of the road. She goes, I'll do it then. I'm like, oh, man, you're just never going to get rid of it. It's all the legs are all rusted out. It's not free-flowing anymore. It's like it's moving around. It's just, yeah. But I know what you're saying. They're the best. As a kid, man, I was always on that.
Yeah, it's like, I want to have one of those, what are those, the sheets that are between a tree and a tree?
Oh, the hammocks.
The hammock, yeah. Hammock. How cool would that be in the front?
The best.
Right?
You're just going to have
And you just sit there and just watch traffic drive by. And
I was always scared to go on those because I could never get on them at 100% or like you try and get on them and you just flip off to the side.
Oh, yeah. There's a technique, just like a canoe. There's a technique to keeping yourself on there, right?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, no, I look, you know what? For all our listeners out there, especially if you're from here in Adelaide, shoot us a message if you know of any houses that have one of those front yard porch swing chairs or couches like that where people just randomly walk past and go, hey, how you going, neighbour?
Yeah, but and I was, and I don't know, the missus always calls me, oh, you're old. But I always just want that bull recliner chair in my living room, and I finally got one.
No.
So, yes, and I'm always falling asleep in it now. So she goes, "Yep, your thing."
Is it electric?
No, it's not electric. Like I inherited it, so it was a hand-me-down. But and it's like a real dark brown. So it's sort of, if you got the lights off, I've got black couches and stuff. So it's sort of like it almost goes, but hey, it's good enough.
What? Tell me, what is it with recliner chairs or even couches that makes you fall asleep?
I don't know.
Mate, I'm telling you, the couch I have at home is not the most comfortable couch, but...
You've worn it in, mate. It's yours.
Yeah, but I've got my corner,
yeah,
right? And regardless of what we're doing, what time of the day it is, I could have just woken up from bed. I'll sit on the couch, and within 20 minutes
Lights
of watching something, it's like, okay, I need to close my eyes again.
Yeah.
And there's been many times where I've been kicked by the wife going, oi, why are you falling asleep again?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know. There's something about this couch that just makes me tired.
The missus has given up, and she's just like, if I'm there and it's late at night, like she's gone to bed, she just puts a blanket over me. She just doesn't even bother anymore because it's just, there's no point, you know, oh, come to bed. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. You never
Do you know, I used to be quite a frequent gamer. And like, you know, when the boys would go to bed, I'd jump on the couch, and I actually don't do that anymore because I get so tired through playing that I don't know what I'm doing. So I end up turning the PlayStation goes into self-shutdown mode.
Yes.
Because I've fallen asleep on the couch, and I don't understand why. I'm not tired. I want to play. Yet my body just says, you know what? It's time to close your eyes, and
you're in your comfy space, man.
I can't watch any series or movies without falling asleep.
Yeah, gone are the days where you could just sit there and watch back-to-back episodes of a particular show.
Talking about back-to-back. So have you watched a series called The Boys?
No. I've heard about it, though, like to get into it.
So it was recommended to me because I like my superhero, like Marvel movies, right?
Yeah, the best.
But this one here, I don't know what they're based on, but most of the characters in this are sort of like, you know, one sort of based on Superman. There's another guy that's based on the Flash. You know, all different random. There's one that's like a Wonder Woman type. So it must be like a DC thing.
Yes.
Anyway, so I started watching this series. It's the most fucked up series I have ever watched. It's just a bunch of horny superheroes.
I've heard this.
That as you're getting into it, you find out that they're not born with power. They were produced in a lab.
Okay.
Right? And it's like, oh, okay. So it's just a really fucked up show, but it's so good that you just want to keep watching. Anyway, I was watching an episode yesterday. The kids were in their rooms playing Nintendo. Probably not the most appropriate daytime television, but I thought, you know what? I'm in here. I'll sit down. The wife was sitting on the other side of the couch, and she was having her lunch, you know, just eating on the couch next to me. And there comes this one scene where the head of the Seven, they call it.
Yep.
The head of the superhero group starts making out with another member of the group while he has a guy's head pressed up a brick wall. And then she starts feeling his groin area to the point where he explodes in his pants. Yeah. And at the same time, from the pressure of exploding in his pants, squashes the guy's head into the wall. And he just explodes against the whole...
So this is the type of show it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And my wife just goes, what the fuck is this shit? Turn this fucking shit off. I don't want to see this. How can you watch this? But I'm telling you, not the whole program is like that.
No.
It's just that it's got really... It's meant to be a gory comedy.
Yeah. That's sort of like, you know, when I was watching Power, every time at the start, the missus wouldn't watch it with me, and it's like every second scene is a sex scene. I'm like, it's not a porno. Like, trust me. It's like, you know, you got to watch it, and this is just a part of the show. But the actual
I guess it's a bit like Game of Thrones, yeah, where that's real sexual show, but it's not about this. It's not a porn. No. It's a medieval show.
Correct.
That's I guess how things were back then in that medieval time.
Well, they had no TV. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, look at who was it? King Henry, who would go off and just fuck anything with a hole.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nah, good on it. Hey, let's kick it off.
This is Two Blokes in a Pod.
Hey, what is that?
The podcast where, well, it's a bit of this, a bit of that.
I don't understand.
Just blokey laughs and blokey chats.
Okay.
Whatever it is, let's get started.
So tell me, how's your week been since last week or since last episode?
It's been not bad. You know, just keeping busy with work. What did we do? We recorded last week. Yeah, just busy weekend with the kids. I had my mum's birthday yesterday, so we went there, saw her. Yeah, I don't know, just keeping busy. I'm just doing some things in the backyard. So our backyard's not massive, but we had this before. I built a shed at the back because you know, the missus wasn't happy about the double garage that's sort of under the main roof. Or half of it was just stored with paint and you know, tools and all that sort of stuff. So I built a shed at the backyard, keep all the gear in there. And then I moved over where that was. I had a trampoline there, and it was like a 3.5 meter sort of in diameter. So I put it on Marketplace. I had it on there for a few months actually. So I just kept lowering the price, and someone picked it up on Saturday.
Yeah, right.
Right, so Dimitri was crying, why do you have to get rid of it? And I said, it's just too big, mate. It's just too big, there's no backyard room. Little does he know, I already bought another trampoline, sort of a meter smaller in diameter, and I'm going to get it for him for Christmas. So it was quite funny, well, I know it's a bit sick, as a parent saying, it was funny watching him, sort of, cry and all that sort of stuff. And then I said, you better go on for your last jump, mate, before the lady comes and picks it up and all that sort of stuff. And he was like, why do you have to get rid of it for? I'm finding it hilarious because I already bought him another one, but he doesn't know. And I've got these massive boxes in where Katrina parks her car, and he just walks straight past them, doesn't even realise there's like 5 boxes there for this trampoline, and he just hasn't clicked. He hasn't seen it, gone past. He's walked past it numerous times, and he just walked straight past it. Little does he know, it's his Christmas present.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. Yes. Well, my kids are writing lists.
Oh.
Yeah, they're writing lists not to check who's naughty or nice, but what they're going to talk to Father Christmas about.
Yeah.
And every day this list keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Went to my in-laws before for dinner, and there's my son, the oldest one, with a list. And I said, mate, what's going on? He goes, I bought the list so I can think of ideas while I'm with your yarn papu of what else I want.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And I kid you not, yesterday it was 1 page. Today it's almost 2 pages. And I said, look, Santa has a lot of kids around the world that he has to give presents to. So he might not be able to get everything on this list, yeah? And he's like, yeah, I know, Dad. But, I'll put which ones I really want at the top.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
so
okay.
so I had a similar conversation with Dimitri, and he, mate, that's starting to get pretty expensive, mate. I've also got your other brother, that need to buy for. He goes, no, it's not for you. It's not a list for you, mate. It's a list for Santa. It's not going to cost you anything, so you don't have to worry about it. And I'm like gritting my teeth. I'm like, yeah. No, you're right. You're right. You got me on that one, mate.
Talking about expensive, mate. Do you know what happened to me this week?
Tell me.
I cried. For the first time in a very long time, I cried.
Why? Tell me.
I crashed my drone.
No.
Yes, I crashed my drone, and I'm so in love with my drone that I have not cried, and I tried to. So it happened while the wife and the kids were away, and I thought, I found this really cool thing that you can do with a drone where you can plug in a microphone and screen record so you can talk while the drone is flying. And like when I upload the video, it's got commentary on it, right?
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, this is fantastic. So I was like, let's give it a whirl. Now, I live directly under a flight path, which means I can't take off in my backyard or front yard.
Well, how high?
I can't take off at all.
At all?
At all. I'm in the red zone, right?
Oh,
so
shit.
I have to drive about 1 kilometre away from home in order to be in a blue zone, which is an authorization zone, and I can fly up to 60 metres.
Oh, wow. So, you can't even take off 5 metres, 10 metres, nothing?
No, not in the backyard, but I can take off inside my house.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And what I did all I wanted was just to lift it up a little bit off my couch. So off the ground next to the couch. I wanted to lift it up a little bit so I could just screen record and test this microphone thing out, right? I didn't want to do anything. But as I pushed forward the lever to go forward, the controller somehow glitched and it went up. So the drone, not having top sensors, went straight into the ceiling, came crashing down onto my dining table on the most weirdest angle, and it broke one of the arms. It gave a big crack in the hard case underneath, and the actual camera gimbal that stabilizes it completely smashed.
So can you buy like parts for this particular one, or is it worth just buying a whole new one?
The fucked up thing is that 2 months ago, my DJI Care ran out, and I wasn't informed that it was running out. Or I don't know, I never got the email. So I don't know if it went to junk or whatever, but usually after the first year, you would get a notification to say, hey, would you like to extend your Care? Which means that if I had a crash, no questions asked, they'd replace the whole unit. Right? No questions asked.
That's pretty good.
Which is fantastic. But I'm out of that period not knowing. So I got straight onto the customer care thing and all that. And, I never got a response back till this morning. So yesterday, when the wife and the kids got back, I acted normal, didn't say a thing, just put it away, pretended nothing.
She'll crack the shit.
Right? Well, no, she wouldn't crack the shits because it's mine and it's it's my toy, as she said.
Yes.
So, and then, I went to bed, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Thinking I've just fucked up my drone. I don't know what I'm going to do. I hope they can still cover it for me. Considering that I've only been a couple months out and I didn't know. So
can you, without saying that you crashed it, can you just say, oh look, I would like to update my warranty period or period?
I tried to do that, but they wouldn't. The automatic system wouldn't allow me to update it.
Oh shit!
Right. So that's why I had to send Care an email to find out. Anyway, so this morning I wake up and I'm reading my emails in bed, and there you go. I couldn't update it, but they gave me a case number to send the drone over to Melbourne to their repair centre, and they said, look, it's this much to assess it, and then we'll give you the quote on what to do from there.
So I'm assuming this isn't a cheap drone.
It's the cheaper end of the expensive drones, but let's put it this way: it's in the 4 digits, right?
Shit.
So I thought to myself, all right, what do I do? And I got out of bed, and I was just moping around. The wife knows something's wrong when I'm moping around in the morning. Because usually I wake up in the morning, I'll make my breakfast, I'll pay out the kids or say something stupid. But I was moping, and she goes, what's wrong? I go, oh, nothing, I'm all right. I'm a bit whacked out. I didn't have a good sleep. Okay, you didn't have a good sleep, which means something's wrong. I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I'm all right. And then I just turn around and go, don't scream. I crashed my drone. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, I was trying something and I crashed my drone. She didn't say anything.
Oh, that's the worst.
She didn't say anything. Not in anger or anything, but she didn't say anything because she knew how much I love this drone and how much I love flying it.
How old is it?
Just over a year. I bought it in July last year. And she knew how devastated I was. I was tearing up. My heart was breaking, It's like, this is heartbreak, man.
Yeah.
And I know it's just a thing, but it's one of those things that I loved.
Well, if it's something that you
do a lot, and
it's a hobby. And
every opportunity I get, I take it out to fly it, in places that I know I'm allowed to fly it. And leading up to yesterday's event, I was I've joined these groups on Facebook on, drones and videos and all that. And there was this amazing video of someone active tracking a fast car. So they were flying the drone past the car.
Wow,
It
how
was
fast
keeping
these things go.
It was keeping up with the car, and it did a 360 of the car. And I'm like reading up on tips on how to do that, and I'm messaging my brother-in-law going, right, we need to get the Valiant out on the road. I need to do this with my drone and test it out and rah, rah, rah. And like, you know, I've just had a really good, insightful week on how to do different things on my drone. And then bang, that shit happens.
Yeah.
And it just broke me. It broke me.
Oh, it would. Like, you know.
So, yeah.
Well, I know you're into, okay, well, big thing here. Is it Lego or Lego?
I say Lego.
Okay, Lego. All right. So that's like you putting together, I don't know, 20,000 piece Lego set or 50,000, I don't know how many pieces there are, right? And then all of a sudden one of the kids playing soccer in the house and knocks it over. You're like, oh, mate.
Actually, I have to show you this. Talking about Lego.
Yeah.
And what you've just mentioned, I think you'll appreciate this. I don't know if you can see it, but okay, here we go. Hang on. Let me just restart that. Okay. Watch. Ready? Hang on. Let it restart.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
the face on this bloke. He must have been doing that for days.
And do you think that's a real laugh, or is that like, oh my God?
That's a laugh like, fuck my life.
That piece...
How many pieces is that?
That's a Star Wars. That's a big. I don't know what the actual thing is, but it's bigger than the Millennium Falcon, which is about. I think that's about 5,000 pieces. That there would be at least 7, right?
How long would that take you to do if you were on that full time?
Full time.
Yeah, full time.
I reckon that would take me about 3 weeks.
Wow.
3 full working day weeks. I mean, my biggest one that I've built was 4,000 pieces, 4,500 pieces.
What's that?
That was my Hulkbuster, which is about just under a metre tall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what do you do with them when you're done?
I display them.
Okay.
I display them.
So you like need a...
You'll have to come over my house so you can see.
So you
But
need
yeah.
a room just dedicated to Lego.
Oh, shit, yeah. But I don't have that. So I've bought 2 glass cabinets, and at the moment they are in my lounge room, to my wife's dismay, because she completely hates the fact that our lounge room has toys.
Yeah.
She's cleaned out all the kids' toys. Like our lounge room used to be a play center.
Yeah.
Now the boys have like big boy rooms.
Yep.
So they've all got their play section in their room.
Ever had a close call? Like them stuffing around the lounge room? And
Oh, yeah. So James lately has been kicking the soccer ball around inside the house against the couch.
Oh, beautiful.
Right? And I'm like, oh, I like this. I see him, like kicking the ball, and he bounces back and he stops it, kicks it again. Like, it's really cool. And then one time he sort of kicked a little bit too high over the couch, straight into the glass cabinet. And my Hulkbuster wobbled. And I'm like, my heart stopped.
Yep. Skipped a beat there, mate.
A big beat. It stopped, and then it sort of like went back into place. And I lost it. I said, get that fucking ball out of the kitchen. Now. Out. It needs to go.
No.
Get out. That's for outdoors. No more. Banned. And he's just like, and I could see the relief in his face when nothing really happened. But it's like, get out.
So Dad needs a Valium.
Yep. But yeah. So that was my week. And today I found, instead of sending the drone off to repair in Melbourne, there's a place in Kilkenny
Beautiful.
that
Not too
repairs
far.
drones.
Yeah.
Right around the corner from work.
Yeah.
So I took it there, and I'm waiting for him to give me back the quote. And I said to him, look, if it's going to cost too much to repair, I might as well just get a new one.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'll keep you posted on the next episode about that.
Yes.
But yeah, so that's that. Say, I want to ask you in terms of, you have a pretty I guess, not as stressful job as what I do with the terms of, you know, the type of clients that we have and the dealings that we have. You know, I said to you that I don't really talk about it, but, you know, my job is one of those real hectic jobs where I deal with all walks of life. You know, in the most nicest way, I say I deal with a lot of, you know, disadvantaged people, unfortunate people, you know, unsociable people. So, you know, it's a very hard line of work. Sometimes I feel like, you know, I'm a social worker that's not a social worker type thing, you know, if you get the drift of what I'm trying to get at.
Yep.
But, you know, I work in a really hard environment. So there's times in my day where I need to sit back, reflect on it, and have a bit of mindfulness, right? Because mental health in this job is very vital and needs to be strong. It needs to be open, and I guess you need to have a welcoming mindset.
You have to, and like, you know, we were briefly speaking about it before we got on air, but you know, even if you're having a shit day when you're going to one of those clients, you have to put on a facade. You know, if you, like
Absolutely,
you do. It doesn't matter what is going on in your own personal life or whatever. You would have to put on that facade, and you know, even if you know that, you know, that particular person that you're at the house, even though I don't want to say, you know, it's not going to be okay, but if it looks very challenging, you have to reassure them that it is going to be okay. But
oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, part of my job is trying to offer more services to link into,
or a solution,
right? Yeah, solution. And you know, a very very basic example. Went into a fella's house, and you know, it's not the tidiest environment. And the second you walk in, they start raising the whole, oh, sorry about the mess, but I've been having hard times. This person passed away. That person passed away. I used to be into this. I'm not anymore. I'm doing this. I'm okay. Rah, rah, rah. And it's just like you're just listening to this whole backstory.
Yeah.
Right? Even though you've heard it already. It just the same thing a year later. It's the whole backstory.
Patience, mate. Patience.
Yeah. And you just got to sit there and go, yep, okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Oh, wow, that's unfortunate. But you can't get too involved because that's what they call falling down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
And the more you invest yourself in what they're saying, and you don't want to be rude about it and say, listen, enough of that, right? Because then you don't know the way that someone may react to that.
Yeah, of course.
I work in a field where I've been taught respond, not react.
Yes.
Right? You know, one of my managers keeps honing on about that, and I think that's the best thing that I've heard in the line of work that I'm doing, because you know, it's pretty vital that in situations like this we don't react.
No.
We need to respond to them by listening and then offering that support and help.
Do you like sort of, you know, answer a question with a question? Like, okay, so how do you think, you know, you can improve this particular section of your life?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
So for example, if I'm following someone up on, let's say, debt.
Yep.
Right? Not paying rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. My question, I'd say, okay, so I can see that there's some missed payments in your account, or you're not making any payments to your account. What can we do to assist you in fixing this problem or this issue? Is there a reason why you're not doing it? You know, I'm putting it back on them.
Yeah.
Right? Which you have to. Same as with the support.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can see that room there is quite untidy or quite messy or whatever, or quite hoarded or whatever. What are you thinking of doing? Like, how are we going to rectify this?
Yeah.
You know, so you can't put the blame.
No.
But you need to find out the reason.
Yeah. It's even like, you know, I wouldn't say it's the same thing, but like, say when I'm working, as I'm a painter, I hate working in a messy environment. You just don't feel, like, you just feel a bit shitty, and things aren't getting done to a high standard or whatever. So like sometimes like I'll let the workers go off and keep working, and I'll just take an hour or 2 hours, whatever, however long it takes, just to go around, sweep up everything, consolidate all my equipment into one sort of section of the house or warehouse, whatever I'm painting. And you just feel like, it's just so much easier to work. Like this could, you could say, if you say tidy up your house, you may feel a bit better about yourself. You may want to, I don't know, your sort of mental health is a bit, better. You might want to go out and socialise. You might want to go do this because you're at home. And you spend most of your time at home.
It's true though, because like, I think about myself and like my house is always tidy, right? Look, and that's because, my wife puts a lot of pride in the house, and
of course,
I'll be the first to admit that I don't really have much to contribute to that, because every time I touch a mop or every time I touch the vacuum, I stuff something up and not purposely, but I just don't do it to my wife's standards.
Yeah.
So it's like, she's got a lot of pride in the appearance of the home.
Yes.
For example, like bless her soul, sometimes, I might have a random mate that, comes over and she goes, "He's not coming inside, is he?" I'm like, yeah, why? Have you seen the state of the house? I'm like,
you look around and you're like, what's wrong?
What's wrong with it? Yeah. Like, okay, there might be a random sandal on the floor, but what exactly is wrong with it?
Oh, the pillows on the couch aren't perfect.
No, I haven't cleaned. Like, you can't come in. No. Talk to him in the front yard.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, Katrina does the same thing. Okay. Same thing.
But, it's true. And then I go to work, and my work desk is a complete fucking shamble. It's a mess. I've got files here. I've got documents there.
But it's an organised mess. You know where everything is.
Oh, I know where everything is. But it still depresses me that I'm walking into this messy desk because, then I think to myself, shit, I got to do this. I got to do that. Whereas if I had a clean slate every morning,
oh, how good would you feel?
It would just be walking into a fresh place every day. But where I was going with this, and I wasn't trying to bring up my work and your work too much, but being in a stressful environment, I got to look after my well-being, my mental health, and all that. So I've started doing. I did a 4-week course just recently in mindfulness, and I'm like, what is mindfulness? And it's basically, teaching the body to respond to stress by using breathing techniques, using meditations. And, when I hear the word meditation, it freaks me out.
You just think
I used to think, meditation's like, like I'm not a Buddhist.
Yeah.
I don't meditate, But the more I got into this course, the more it taught me that meditation actually isn't a religious thing. No. It's a mindset. It's a mind thing. It's a mindfulness way of life where, you can sit there and just listen to someone's voice and someone's instructions on how to breathe, when to deep breathe, when to exhale, when to, there's this concept, they say the 4-4-4, right? Where you take a deep breath in for 4 seconds. So, but in your head, you're counting to 4. Then you pause. Just hold it there for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And then deep exhale out. Let it all out. So basically, you're feeling your stomach fill with air.
Yeah.
You're holding it, and then you're releasing it.
Okay.
And you do that. Breathing. You do that, like, say 4 to 6 times over in a row, and then you just normally start breathing again. My God, I tell you what, do you know how many times that saved me in the last few weeks when I've just been getting to that point where I just like, I really want to bash someone, or, like I want to put a hole through the wall or smash my computer, and then I'm like, breathe.
That's like me when I get an email from, a builder, like, putting the screws to you, or a client that's sort of being unreasonable. Like, I'll write an email, like, it might be not aggressive, but like sort of passive aggressive and a bit of a smart ass or whatever. And then I'm like, what, I'm just going to leave that email for a sec, just go get a drink of water, or just Just leave it there, and then you come back. You're like, oh, I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't. And then you write more of a professional sort of email. You know, I think everyone does that. You know, it's just taking that second to gather your thoughts and, you know, just be refreshed, like on that particular topic or something like that. You know, I'm assuming that, you know, that breathing would help. You may be stressed out at work or something like that. Just take a moment, breathe, go back to it. Mate, it's not the end of the world. You know?
Oh, absolutely. And that's the best thing about it, that, you know, it's putting that manager's words into full perspective, where by stopping, breathing, and just focusing on that for, say, a minute, right? 4 for a minute worth. By doing that, I'm responding to the stress rather than reacting to it. Because if I react to the stress, I could literally smash my computer. I could slam my phone. I could say something really bad to someone. Like, and here's an example. Prior to doing this, I made a mistake, right? I look at it now and go, it's not that much of a mistake, but I can understand how the customer would have felt when I was reacting this way.
Yeah.
So I had a customer who was ringing on behalf of a tenant, right?
Yep.
And they just kept on going and going and going and going and going. Like one of those parrots that just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Right? Similar to my kids. When they want something, dad, shut up. Yeah. It was like that.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, you know, use as in, you know, the government, you know, but she was talking to me. So it was like, I was feeling quite personal, because it was like she was talking to me, but saying use. Mind you, I've never met her or the tenant, or, you know, like, I don't know the full situation, but I was in her firing line, right? And there was one thing where she raised something along the lines of, you know, in the last 2 years, he's had a different worker about 6-7 times. And instead of me not responding at all, I said, yeah, unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles, and people find better opportunities and move on.
Ah, shit.
So I was saying, not specifically about her brother's situation, but I was more so talking about, I know, you know, like, I've just come back from 11 months as a manager, you know, and that's because I wanted the experience, you know, I wanted to gain that experience in that role. And I was doing an okay job, to the point where they said, oh, you know, that 2-week stint turned into 11 months. And it's like, you know, that's me. And your previous manager, probably the same thing. They've moved on to something different, to experience. That's the job that we're in, the department we're in. We
always want better.
Get that blessing to experience something if we ask for it.
Yeah.
You know, you always got to take an opportunity.
Of course.
But the way that I said it right after the whole drilling that I got was, well, that's the way the cookies crumble. And you know what? We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about your brother or any of you guys. But that's not what I meant. Anyway, one thing led to another. She took that the wrong way. It went to my manager. I had to explain myself and why I used that terminology. And like, thankfully, my manager's a very good bloke, and, you know, he understands exactly where I come from, because we're all in that same line of work.
Dude, you're human at the end of the day. You can't always be perfect. You're not a robot. You don't this, you don't that.
But you know what? Like, had I stopped and, like, you know, mid-talk, taken that deep breath, I think my mind would have switched a different path, and I would have responded better.
But in the heat of the moment, like, you're on the phone, she's going at you.
But it's not like I sat there and go, listen, you're a fucking moron. I don't want to fucking talk to you. I never said that. And I would never say that to my tenants. Never would I ever say that to my clients.
I just think, like, you know, you're saying you just did a 4-week course. It's like innovating yourself. Like, you're always trying to, like, say for me, right, I mean, it's a little bit different, but So I just use Dulux like as a paint, and I'm also an accredited member. So I think out of like nearly 1,000 painters, there's only 30 of us. And they're always the thing I like about Dulux. They're always innovating. They're always what's next. Let's try and keep up with the market. And they offer courses to us like new products coming out, new gear from say like different suppliers, like different tools, all that sort of stuff, and you're always trying to do better. So hey, you may not use some of these tools or new stuff, but it's always good to offer that to your clients. And we can do this, we can do that, we can do French wash, we can do stippling, we can whatever, right? So it's always good to invest in yourself. Like say for you, you did this course on just self-management, or like for me, I'll do courses like how to better give the customers or clients a better experience. So it's very important that you're just always trying to innovating yourself, and for you.
How do you give a better experience to someone who wants a paint job?
Oh, look, you just say, oh, look,
like, do you paint in the nude?
I don't think anyone would.
Is
like
that part
mate.
of your top?
I don't think anyone would like that, mate.
Is that your top experience package?
Yeah, I'll be like, if you want the dad bod experience, I'm here for you. I can give you that service.
Oh God!
Just different. People like metallic finish, French wash, wallpapering. Some people might like say like the old school, like especially the old school wogs, right? They like oil base on the woodwork, oil base enamel. Now I try and explain to these people. I go, look, yeah, sure, look, oil base enamel, will be much smoother than now. There's an acrylic, like a water based enamel. Yeah, look, oil based enamel is always going to be a little bit more durable. Yes, you might get a smoother finish. I go, but if your house doesn't get enough sunlight, it's going to yellow in 6 months. So say like if people want the ceiling walls woodwork all the same color, but obviously different sheen levels, it's going to be off. It's going to go yellow. So that's why, you always try and, try and recommend, look, if you go the water-based enamel, it'll never yellow. Things like that. Like, so always try and educate yourself on different products. Like, say for myself, different products, new products that are coming out, easier to apply, better for the environment, all that sort of stuff. So
you completely lost me at Mr. Sheen.
I didn't even tell. What?
You said sheen levels.
Oh, sheen levels, yeah. Low sheen, anyways, whatever. I'm not talking about.
But no, I get it.
Always try and innovate.
I guess in a way that's the same with me and my DJing and MCing. Yeah, so.
New
I'm
songs
always
all the time. Man.
I'm always trying to innovate myself by, learning new equipment and new ways of mixing different particular songs, learning new genres and all that type of stuff, updating my catalog to deliver an experience.
And some songs you may not even like.
Yeah,
like, it's a hit with your crowd. Man. You might have younger crowd, older crowd, middle-aged.
If I have to hear All My Life by Casey and JoJo one more time.
I love that song, man.
Oh, fuck.
I was spewing my wedding song. I wanted that. And the missus was like, no, it's too, pick something else. So we went with
God.
Aerosmith, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. So we
oh,
went with that.
Great song. But Aerosmith is a great band.
And we went... it was more sort of like
the acoustic version.
Yeah, it was like a rock version, more guitar.
Oh yeah,
so it was fucking.
But
awesome.
Bloody hell, man! Like you're right. It's you got to innovate yourself and improve yourself to give your customers a much better experience.
You are the product.
Yeah, absolutely.
You are the product. You need to update.
It doesn't matter what the latest equipment I have and all that. It doesn't matter. It's how I deliver my service.
Correct.
On what that experience is going to be. Yep. But yeah, so going back to mindfulness, so I've recently signed up to an app called Calm, which is a fantastic app, and I also have Fitness Plus, Apple Fitness Plus, which is like a gym in my phone.
Yep.
And I can watch videos on particular exercises. And I can follow the screen and put it up on my TV.
The one?
Yeah, Calm. That's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Great app. But yeah, with my Apple subscription, I've got Apple Fitness Plus, and it's also got a meditation section.
Yeah.
So what I do is when I'm in bed, I put on a 10 or 20 minute meditation on sleep.
Yep.
And it starts off with a particular person, an instructor, who says, get yourself ready for bed. And, I've got it in my headphones, so no one else is listening. Get ready for bed, and then it takes you through some breathing techniques. I don't actually think I have completely finished one session awake.
It's good.
It's so good.
It's doing its job.
It's so good because I put my headphones on and they're noise cancelling, so I don't hear anything outside. And then I wake up halfway through the night with my headphones still on, nothing playing on. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't even remember the end of that.
Yeah.
Take the headphones off and go to sleep.
Perfect.
So good. And it just refreshes me.
No, that's good. Little things
But
like
last
that.
night didn't refresh me because I was too worried about my drone.
I've tried. Like, I remember my ER bought me this drone. She goes, yeah, try it out. She goes, it's really, really expensive. Googled it. It wasn't expensive. Anyway, it was like $100. And anyway,
That's expensive to your Yaz.
oh yeah. She won it in a raffle, man. So, so like she purchased it. She entered a $5 raffle. She got it, right? Anyway, she goes, I'm not going to use it. Here you go. Mate, I could not, me trying to fly a drone, it would be a comedy for someone. I just couldn't get it.
Nah, the one that I see
No self-leveling, none of that.
many years ago, I bought a drone helicopter
Yep.
that was controlled with the iPhone. So it was an
Yeah,
app.
it's an iPhone.
Yeah. It was app on the phone and
Yep.
it Bluetooth to the helicopter.
Yeah.
There was no camera on the helicopter. It was just just a app thing, and you could fly it. Anyway, I was shit at it. I couldn't do it. I gave up after 3-4 tries. Kept crashing. Nah,
Yeah, not interested.
wasn't good. But yeah, a year ago I bought this one, DJI Mini Pro 3, and it's got stabilization. It's basically it's a beginner's drone for that upper level.
Yes.
And it's not a toy. It's a proper drone. You use it for videos, and I've seen so many photographers that have the same drone, right, as part of their business. But I'm using it as a casual member, and it's the only one that I can buy without having to get a CASA license, like an aviation license.
You need an aviation license to fly drones.
Yes.
Is that bloke a few years ago?
Any drone that's over a kilo must have a aviation license.
So the guy that went over to Bunnings to go pick up a snag, would that be one of those?
Most probably.
Do you remember a few years ago?
Yeah,
Made the news and
yeah.
everything?
He made the news, and he flew a drone to pick up a. That would be a proper aviation one.
So what's the distance?
So my drone says that it can fly 7 kilometers diameter.
7 Ks.
Yes, but I've not tried it, and I don't dare try it. That's in an open line of sight, so you'd have to fly, for example, over an open field where you can. There's no obstacles at all, no trees, no nothing, just an open field.
So at the moment there's an obstruction.
Yeah, so
what happens? Would it stay there? Does it cut out? Does it fall? What happens if you go out?
The thing is, the battery won't last that long anyway. I flew my drone max once for, I think it's 22 or 23 minutes per battery.
Okay.
Right? So I pushed it as hard as I could go. It got to about, I reckon, 900 meters to a kilometer.
Shit.
When the lights went to halfway,
Okay.
which meant I had to turn it around.
So
Because if it took a kilometer to do half a battery, then I had a kilometer to get it back.
but what happens? Does it have a function where it itself comes down slowly?
Yes. So this drone will start. So what 2 features it does? If it knows that it's not going to make the whole distance, it starts turning around automatically, saying returning to home.
And you don't have to touch
So
nothing.
I don't have to touch nothing. It will fly back to me and land where I took it off from. So it GPS is where it left,
Oh, that's killer.
where it took off from. If I'm pushing it and the battery is dying, to the end, it will land where it is.
Soft landing.
Soft landing, yeah.
Oh, that's
It won't crash,
that's.
but that
killer.
then means once it dies, I won't have GPS tracking on it.
Oh,
so
shit.
I won't know where to find it.
Oh, they should do like a reserve, just so you can get to it.
Yeah, well, there. Yeah,
Oh, you probably can. You got to spend like 10 grand.
I think what it might. I don't know because I haven't got into that yet. But I think what it does is because the controller battery lasts so long. What I think it does is it'll pinpoint the GPS location that it started landing in.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right.
On the controller, but I've never gotten to that point yet.
Yeah. Well, you can't now.
Yeah, but I'm too afraid to push it that far.
Yeah.
Like, that kilometre was probably the best I've done. And you know where I did that? My in-laws live right behind what used to be the old Speedway in Virginia. Right?
Shit. Okay. That'd be
So
perfect.
they're the street over. When I first met Stav, I'd be going over to her house and I could hear the drags all the time.
Awesome.
But since then they've stopped and they've moved them out to the bend. So the track is still there. And I took this wild video of the track as it is and I pushed it far. So I had the line of sight. There was no obstacles other than the fence in my way. And yeah, I pushed it right to the other end of that complex. And
It'd be good actually to go to Ellis Park like one night after training or something and just go for it.
do you know, I took it once to Ellis Park and I didn't realise that there's signs around the place going no drones to be flown here. Have you seen those?
No.
Yeah, there's one near the Mini Roos pitch. And I saw another one the other day on the plateau.
Man, there's drones all the time there when we're training.
But you
All
know where
the
my
time.
favourite place to fly it is? Benithan Park.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I took it there. The kids were on the playground at Benithan Park.
Yeah.
I took it off. I flew it over the Ra and took a 360 shot of the Ra.
Surely you're not allowed to fly there.
Yeah, well, I could. There was no restrictions or limitations there.
Isn't there a helipad there or something?
There is. That's what's freaking me out.
Yeah, right.
So I flew it over the horse barracks and the police barracks that are there,
yeah.
the Ra,
Yeah.
and then I flew it sort of like onto West Terrace, took a hyperlapse of the traffic.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Oh, so good.
That'd
But
be
yeah, it was
awesome.
good. It was good. You know what? Let's do bloke bits because I know there's a topic you're going to bring up, which,
Yeah.
I want to talk about. Just got to remember. No. This is
Bloke's Bit.
Bloke's Bits. Now, growing up, there was many useful things that we used in the household, which would be free delivery to our house, which we would use as a ladder, as a tool to throw at people, to smack people in the head with. And that is what you're going to talk about right now and the difference between then and now.
Mate, so I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, I opened up the letterbox and there was this little book in there. I'm like, what's this? I opened it up. It's the yellow pages. The yellow and now it's white pages together. Mate, I reckon, what would you say? It's 2-3 centimetres?
Yeah, it's not thick
That's
at all.
how thick it is. I remember back in the day we used to get
It's probably
two-
as thick as a Goosebumps novel.
Yeah. I remember we used to get 2 massive books of yellow pages. There would have been a couple of thousand pages in there, plus the white pages. Now you're getting the yellow pages and the white pages. Mate, even if I threw it at my kid, it wouldn't hurt him. He'd look at me and laugh. Tiny. I've actually got it. I was supposed to bring it out.
Man, the yellow pages used to be like,
The go-to, mate.
yeah, it was the be-all and end-all of business. Every goddamn business would be in that yellow pages.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know how I could explain it. It was as thick as probably 3 volumes of an encyclopedia.
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah.
And now it's nothing.
Yeah, so, and then remember that one stage they bought out the colour pages,
Yeah.
which was sort of like a mixture.
Mixture. Yeah.
But I think it was more like for a particular region of Adelaide. Yeah. But yeah, no, the white pages, I remember back in the days I'd go through the white pages and I'm like, P A P A P Papa. Oh, there we go. Papastamatopoulos. No, that's not what I want. Papastamatakis. No, that's not what I want. Papastamatis. There we go. That's the one.
There we go.
And then there'd be like 20 Papastamatises, and you go, oh shit. Hang on. What's his dad's name? Because he was always by the male of the household.
Yeah.
Fuck, what's his name?
Yeah, but it would only have the first initial, so it'd be like, say, for me, it would be S Papastamatis or Papastamatis S.
Yeah.
Right? But then, fuck it was like 3 or 4, and then shit, okay, the address.
And then you're like, oh, shit, where did he live again?
Yeah.
So you have, like, you'd go through each column going, fuck, and then you just give up and go, oh, you know what?
And then you try and look for it, and fuck, they must be private.
Yeah.
Like when you do your private, they weren't in it.
Oh, those assholes that would pay to keep their number private.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, my uncle was one of them.
Yeah.
Every time I needed to ring my uncle, it's like, and I couldn't find my mum's, the little dial-up book. It's like, what was Theo's number again?
Yeah.
You look, oh, shit, that's right, it's private. It's not in there.
Yeah.
Bastard.
So you go through all that effort only to find that, fuck, he had a private number.
Yeah, you know what? What are our kids going to grow up to think? Like, when you talk about the yellow pages and the white pages.
Mate, I showed my son, my first ever phone that I had was a Nokia 8250, and he goes, Dad, the screen is so small and it's blue. Where's the camera? There was no camera, mate. What do you mean?
Yeah.
He can't wrap his head around it.
Yeah, phones were never about cameras.
My first colour phone was the Nokia 6610, and it had a portable camera. So the camera was probably like this big. You had to open it up like this, and it had a cord, and you had to plug it into the bottom of the phone to take photos. It wasn't even a megapixel. It was like the VGA.
Yes.
The VGA cameras. And then...
Do you remember... like many years ago, they brought out these like webcam / portable camera type things where I think they were like $50 or something, and it was about no bigger than half an iPhone, right?
Yeah,
and it was like a 2 megapixel camera, really shitty camera, but you could plug it into your computer and use it as a webcam. Or you could take it out and just take digital photos of do you remember those?
Yes.
So I once had one of those and it got confiscated at school because I took an upshot of someone's skirt.
Oh.
Yeah, and I got dobbed in on that.
Of course.
But then they looked at looking at the photo, it was nothing but a pixelated like just very pixelated photo because it was so dark.
Yeah.
It was just pixel, and they're like, okay, don't do it again.
No.
Don't do it again. We're going to delete what's on here and you can have it back at the end of the term.
Remember the iToy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I figured out a way of getting the iToy as a webcam. So like on MSN Messenger.
Yeah, right.
Everyone used to have those long names like Greek legend or Little Miss
Wogstar 69
or whatever, So everyone's bloody everyone's email address was like ended up with, or if you're a bloke, it was 69, whatever. But yeah, the iToy, man, I remember that, and I configured it in a way because YouTube was very new, or it wasn't even a thing back then. So I had to use mum's dial up, whatever, and tried to figure out how to get the iToy as a webcam. Yeah, that was the little things, our little struggles in life, our kids will never understand. Phones having buttons, no cameras, no colour, no nothing.
Mate, the best ever years of my life were when Napster was around.
Napster.
Oh,
wow.
Remember that?
Yes.
You could download any goddamn song you ever wanted.
Yeah.
Like, it was just the free version of fucking everything.
Yeah, what about your Game Boy? It wasn't even backlit. You had to get the little torch that would sit at the top of the Game Boy and just give you that light,
Hey, talking about Game Boys, did you ever have a Game Boy where you could mod it? Like, did you ever have
Game Shark sort of thing?
Like there was a particular cartridge.
Yeah.
And you could load a SD card into that cartridge.
Yeah.
and put all these random games on there.
Yeah.
Like you could just go to a website, download the game, put it on the SD
ROM.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ROM, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so good.
Now you can get. Have you tried it on your phone? You know, you can get you can download the app Game Boy on your phone, and then go on to just look up say Pokemon Yellow Game Boy ROM, and you can play it on your phone.
No.
Yeah, man.
Is that a Samsung thing?
It is.
Oh, you bastard.
It is actually. Sorry about that. You know.
Nah, so we my kids Nintendo Switches, because I'm a member with Nintendo Online, whatever it's called. They have the emulators on there. So the Game
emulator.
Boy,
You're downloading the emulators on your
Game
phone.
Boy, original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64 emulators.
That's the
Right?
best.
Oh, just
007 on the
so
Nintendo
good.
64.
Yes.
The best game
Yes. Yes, and Donkey Kong World.
ever. Time Crisis.
Oh, the best. But yeah, so technology's come so far.
It has.
So
It has.
far.
You know, and we had to suffer. Well, we didn't suffer, but now, like what the kids have now, it's like, we would have killed to have that when we were
Oh,
kids.
shit, yeah.
You know?
And then, like, I play the old school Mario, just nostalgia, and I play it, and my kids are like, Dad, what is that?
No, great. It's 2D. It's barely 2D.
And I'm like, that's Mario. And that's not Mario. It's just a little red square jumping. I go, no, that's Super Mario. That's the original Super Mario.
Mate, original.
And they're like, no, it's not. And then they're like, showing me up by bringing out their switches and going, this is Mario. I go, yeah, that's today's Mario. But when Dad was growing up, this was Mario. Just a red box with a yellow face.
Try explaining dial-up to them.
Oh,
Try explaining dial-up. Like, we couldn't be on the house phone. We don't have a house phone now. Oh, what do you mean? What's a house phone? We couldn't be on the house phone and the internet at the same time. As soon as someone jumps on the house phone, the internet cuts out.
man.
Or they complain it's not taking
So,
long enough to load.
The clients that I visit, right? When I go in, the first thing I do is I check that their contacts are all up to date. Yeah. I went into one today and they had a mobile phone number and a landline, right? And I go, mobile phone, checking the mobile phone, rah, 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 rah. Yeah, that's my number, but I don't use it. I'm like, oh, okay.
The landline.
And she goes, yeah, I prefer to ring that you ring the home phone. I go, oh, wow, you still have one?
Wow.
You still have one?
Wow.
But yeah, I haven't had a landline
Ages.
probably 10 years.
But you know what's shit? When you lose your phone at home, fuck, you'd kill for a home phone, wouldn't you? Just to ring it and try and find your mobile.
That's why I have an Apple Watch.
That was before I bought my Samsung watch, thank you.
Yeah, and I just press a button and it'll
Find my phone.
locate my
all right,
phone.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so it's technology.
Yep.
I was meant to go watch Disconnect Me yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Petros had invited me, and then I get a message about 2 hours out from Petros going, yeah, no, the cinema's cancelled it.
How's that?
I'll try to do it another time. I'm like, what? What do you mean they cancelled it? And that's what I'm buzzing me out. Like, how does a cinema cancel a screening of something 2 hours before? Like, and you can't tell me it's a attendance thing. I've been to Marion Greater Union.
And you have a handful of people in the cinema.
And it's just been me and my kids in the cinema watching a movie.
Yeah.
The last movie I took them to, it was just me and them.
Did they say why it was cancelled? Was it
No.
10?
I just got a random text going, yeah, no, it's not happening today. I'll book out the cinema for another time. I'm like, what do you mean? They can't just cancel a show.
Oh, that's shit.
Yeah, so I didn't get to watch it yesterday.
Oh, I did see. Oh no, it wasn't Disconnect Me because I saw. What was the other one with the guy that played Jesus Christ and Passion of the Christ?
Oh,
And he played in
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, what was that movie that he did recently?
Oh,
Everyone got around it.
yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, it came up on my Google Chrome to watch it. I might give that a bit of a whirl when I get home because I wanted to watch that.
What's that on, Stan?
Nah.
Netflix.
I'm not sure what it's on, but because when have you got a Google Chromecast?
No.
When you like say I've got like say Netflix, Stan, Prime.
Oh, okay.
whatever, and
You'll
then it
wrap everything in one.
in one. Yeah.
Yeah, my Apple TV does that.
Yeah, so yeah, same thing. So I'm not sure what platform it was on, but it said if you wanted to rent it for like $3 or $5, whatever it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it must be on one of those paid subscription.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor. Yeah. He's a fantastic actor.
In that movie, he actually got struck by lightning when he was on the cross. Did you hear about that?
Really?
You look it up, right? Google it, whatever you want. He actually got struck by lightning while making the movie. The cross got struck by lightning.
Let's have a check.
Fact check that.
Passion.
While filming Passion of the Christ. I'm going to look like a malaka if it's not true now, but yeah, no.
Of Christ.
Lightning strike or something like that.
Lightning strike. Here we go. The cast and crew were filming the sermon on Mount Scene, and the fifth take, Caviezel was struck. The lightning strike led to 2 heart surgeries, including open heart surgery, along with lots of medication. The actor said the issue was finally corrected in 2014. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure it wasn't like a stormy day or anything.
Oh, his that's it. That reminds me. So his new one is The Sound of Freedom.
That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they did an interview with him, and that's where he brought that up.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he actually got struck by lightning while on the cross. That's not telling you something, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And he was hospitalized.
Yeah.
Wow.
While filming, man, it's
Great film though.
Yeah. Oh, that
Great
was
film.
That was heavy. That was
Yeah.
heavy.
You know, a lot of those religious films are. Like I remember growing
King of Kings.
Yeah. I remember growing up, and like every Good Friday there would be like the King of Kings or Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
There was another Jesus film, like from the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Was Charlton Heston in King of Kings too? Or was it just Ben-Hur? There was another religious film that he did.
Oh, I think that's the one, yeah. Because Maya Ya, what she used to do, she used to... here's one for the kids.
There was one that was like 8 hours long or something. It lasted all day.
Yeah. Do you remember? Yeah, no,
That's not Ben-Hur.
It was Ben-Hur that had an intermission. Intermission?
It was a very long film.
Yeah, it was in 2 parts.
Just remind me, is Ben-Hur the one with the leprosy scenes in it?
No.
Then I'm trying to
There's
think.
another Jesus movie,
Yeah.
and it went fucking forever.
Yeah, and there was like he cured people with leprosy and
Yeah. I think there was one Jesus movie where you don't see his face at all. And I think that's the one, because then he woke up Lazarus. Is it Lazarus?
Yeah, the week before Jesus died was the resurrection of Lazarus.
Yeah. So he did that. He did the wines, the water to wines barrel. But
we don't see his face.
You don't see his face in the whole movie.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
It would have been from 60s. Because Maya Ya, she used to have this video collection. And like I was saying, this is ones for the young kids, right? So she used to get a VHS and record, and she used to stop with the commercials as well. So you have a free-flowing sort of video.
The Temptation of Christ, Martin Scorsese.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. What year was that one in? Was it 80s?
1988.
Yeah.
1988.
Temptation of Christ.
But yeah, King of Kings.
That was probably my favourite, King of Kings, that one.
And Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur. All those.
Oh, that's the one I was thinking of.
Which one?
Not Leprosy, but the other one with Charlton Heston. The 10 Commandments.
Oh, that's another
Story
movie.
of Moses.
Yep, seen that one. See,
that was a long bloody film.
I
that
watched
one.
all of those because my had them all. She goes, it's very important that you watch all these so you understand what happened and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, that's the other one that was on all the time during Easter.
Yeah.
10 Commandments, Ben-Hur, The Temptations of Christ, King of Kings. My God, that was
King of Kings, the one with John the Baptist, and they decapitated him. And,
full on.
Wow.
But yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
What do you reckon? Are we done for the day?
I think we'll call it.
Yeah, I
What was
think
that? Just over an hour?
yeah, about an hour and 10 of pretty random shit. I think that's the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Random shit. That'd go down well. Hey, thanks heaps, man.
All good, man.
It's definitely good to know that I've got that.
Looks like it's going to be
second
It looks
opinion.
like it's going to be a fortnight thing. Petros
Yeah.
will be back on next week.
Oh,
and-
look, you know, and I think when the three of us are in here, it's also a really good laugh and all that. But next time we'll discuss the week's adventures and whatever big topics there are. I mean, look, so many things. Hey, actually, you know what? One thing I will discuss before
What's
we
that?
close:
What's that?
Chandler Bing.
Oh, don't that hurt.
Very heartbreaking.
That hurt a lot.
So they're saying that he had a cardiac arrest
After playing a 2-hour game of tennis or something like that.
yeah, and he was in a spa just chilling out, and he had a cardiac arrest. Yeah. Do you know what? I'm not going to lie. When it first got announced that he was found dead in a spa, I instantly thought, "Fuck, he was a pretty messed up bloke."
Drug overdose.
Was it a drug overdose? Was it suicidal? Was it, you know, was it depression? But then the more the story came out, it said he had a cardiac arrest. And again, could it be drugs? And then he had a big active, you know, game.
Yeah.
And then once his body calmed down, bang, heart attack.
Yeah, maybe. Look, yeah, that one sort of hit hard a little bit because, you know, I was talking about it with Katrina. So on my first episode that I had with you guys, I obviously told you guys about we lost our daughter and all that sort of stuff. And we just binged watched for 2 weeks. I was home for 2 weeks, Friends, and that just sort of lightened the household a little bit. And yeah, just sort of invested in, like, obviously we saw Friends when it, you know, in the late 90s and early 2000s, all that sort of stuff. But I think Friends is, that show is something that's just lighthearted, take your mind off things, and it's just a bunch of just bullshit that happens in the show. Like, it was you didn't need to watch one episode to be up to date with the next episode.
Correct.
It was just something, just in the back. It's a good background show, and then just
It was the two shows that are always a go-to feel-good show. Like, if you're just having a shit day and you want just to watch something on TV to have a bit of a smile and a giggle, Friends and Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Two shows about absolutely fuck all.
Yeah.
Right? There's never been a story about it.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are episodes where you sort of have to remember an early episode on who that character is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you're right. You can pick it up from anywhere. In any season.
Yep.
And you could just go with the flow.
Yeah. So it was a bit sad yesterday seeing that. It was, you know, and cause you know that he had some demons and all that sort of stuff that he and you know, the cast have said, you know, in the past, like, you know, it was sad to see him through, like, filming, and he was going through some shit and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was a bit devo about that.
I don't know what
Perry.
life would be like being an actor, and just, you know, like, some people would be in a sitcom like that and hit it hard afterwards with big movies and all that type of stuff. Like, for example, Jennifer Aniston, you know, her career's gone off skyrocketing after Friends. Yeah. But then you've got other people that they just don't know where to go after they do certain sitcoms and stuff like that. And, you know, you hear all the time about big movie stars and music stars and their mental health and drug addictions and...
Oh, what's his name from Home Alone? What's his name?
Oh, Macaulay Culkin. Yeah. You know, it's just, yeah.
Well, he died and they had to revive him.
Yeah.
You know, from, I think, I don't know if it was a heroin or something like that.
Something like that.
And, you know, look at him. You know, well, he's turned his life around now, but, man, he missed.
I heard rumours they're making another Home Alone.
Yeah.
With him in it.
Oh, with him in it?
With him in it.
Oh, that'd be bloody brilliant.
So I don't know if it's like him growing up and one of his kids does the same things. Or
I don't know if Pesci will come back for that.
I love the whole slapstick comedy.
Yeah.
Like, all that, you know, the Home Alone is one of those films that you could just Never stop watching.
Even like what King of Queens. That was a good sort of show. As
Oh,
well.
the sitcoms, yeah. That was a good, funny show.
You know,
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, that's good. Third Rock from the Sun. That was always a laugh.
That was good. Married with Children.
Oh yeah, Acropolis Now.
Oh man,
You know?
that
That's an Easter special. Every time there's Easter, the wife and I will sit down and we'll watch like a whole season of Acropolis Now.
Acropolis Now was awesome, man. It was good because it was Australian. You know?
Oh yeah,
it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was pure Australian WOG comedy.
Yeah,
That's what kicked off WOG comedy in Australia.
Yeah, they did good there.
You know, like, hey, see my cousin Jim? Anyone?
Is
Anyone
he here?
see-
Is he here? Is he here? Effie.
Too good. Hey, have a good one. All right, we'll talk again next time.
Thanks, guys.
All right, cheers, guys.